Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Sunday. It's Daryl here. It is 5 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, every so often, I want to talk with you guys about this. Every so often in the last 3.5, 4 years, there's times when, in general, I do not understand Trump supporters. I don't. For the life, I'm not saying this to be an ass or to be combative or anything. I really, truly do not understand the mindset of Trump supporters. But there's times in the last 4 years where it would even seem that the things that they admire and hold up are contradictory to their support of Donald Trump. And this is one of those weeks. All right, around town here, around the state, around the country, in texts, in comments, on social media, you always see Trump 2020 when you see supporters. And there's the stars and stripes in America. And there's all, that's one of the things that they hold up high. America, democracy, freedom. Well, I noticed they're a lot more for freedom. Democracy I don't see them supporting democracy all that much these days. That's interesting. I don't know if that's a subconscious thing or what. Anyway, I'll get to that in another video. The other thing they hold up is law and order. Got to have that law and order. I won't even I was so tempted right there to go into authoritarianism, but I'm not. So law and order, right? And America. Everything ship-shape and everybody saluting the flag and standing up tall and goose-stepping. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Goose-stepping isn't part of America. But you know what I'm saying. Those two things are the two things that Trump supporters hold up high. In the last week, though, it seems so contradictory. Every time I see a comment or the U.S. flag in America and Trump, out on the street or whatever, I'm dying to ask them, how can you support both these things? I'm going to bring up the post office again. The post office is a huge part of America. I hope by now that Trump supporters really understand that the post office is not supposed to make money. It's not supposed to be solvent. It is a service that we pay for. This is in the Constitution. Nothing is more American, really. Apple pie, baseball, and the U.S. post office. Seriously. Nothing is more American than the U.S. Postal Service. The trucks are draped in red, white, and blue, for crying out loud. And look at what's going on. Donald Trump just admitting that he's not going to help the U.S. Postal Service. Just one note, last night I started to see things that I know that it was pushed through Congress that there's going to be a $25 billion support for the U.S. Postal Service, and I know Donald Trump said he's going to veto it. I want to see where that's going to go. It'll probably just prove my point more because Trump has promised to veto it. All right, so I see these Trump supporters, stars and stripes, America, the flag, everything, America number one. How can you not see Trump damaging the U.S. Postal Service and his postmaster, who basically is a competitor? His postmaster, who he put in place, is a competitor, stands to make money, get enriched from the demolition of the United States Postal Service, our United States Postal Service. He's an enemy to our beloved institution. And Trump supporters are waving that flag. USA, number one. How dare you talk bad about America? Love it or leave it. And the guy you're supporting is tearing apart the very country that you love, the Postal Service. One more thing, too, with coronavirus, all right? I'm talking about Americans here. If you love America, and you love your freedom and everything, it's not hard to understand the virus. It's kids in elementary school understand, the precautions you have to take. But that's not even what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Donald Trump's attitude over the last 7 or 8 months. Just yesterday, I noticed Biden is talking a lot about coronavirus. And if Donald Trump were smart, if he cared at all about the country and the people of this country, and truly needed to do the work to keep the people of this country safe, and not just enrich himself the easiest way possible, he would talk more, at least, about the coronavirus. He would ease our fears. He would be more two-way in his conversation, but he just says it's going to disappear. Going to be a vaccine real soon. Last I heard yesterday, and this isn't liberal talk or anything, that they're talking now about next June for a vaccine. Seriously. And we kind of all knew that. Right from the beginning, we knew that. They said a year and a half. Not getting into that though. But what we have here is a president who, even now, when he's running for election, you would think that he would at least try to look like he cares about the people of the United States, instead of just bashing people who are against him and calling names and coming up with conspiracy theories and all this other stuff just for his own private enrichment. But even yesterday, I would think that he would look at Biden's speech and say, geez, I better get my act together. Maybe I should at least look like I care about this coronavirus. Look at the United States. You could even if I took the devil's advocate here, and I don't believe this, but even if I was, and I said trying to develop this intentionally to hurt the United States, which I don't believe, but even if I did, don't you think that Donald Trump should have taken it more seriously? Should have made it his number one daily cause to get people to do the right thing like the rest of the world. Look at the rest of the world and look at us. The proof, within the last week, there's so much proof right in front of Trump supporters. And it just amazes me that they still just, with the evidence so contradictory with the post office, stuff like that, and the red, and every text they have the red, white, and blue, and the stars and stripes. Yet their candidate has shown little to no interest whatsoever in the people of this country, or at least in half of the country. All right, then the other thing, I could go on about that for a while. Law and order. This is going to be brief. Look how many people in his administration, his circle of people, 6, 7, 8, 10. I've lost count, to be honest with you guys. I think it's around 6 that are in jail. Look back at Obama. I looked that up this morning. I've looked it up before. There was one incident in 8 years, General Petraeus, and most of the liberals turned against him. Most of the Obama supporters just threw him out. They didn't try to make up conspiracy theories that he was innocent. You know what I'm talking about here. You guys are talking about law and order. Steve Bannon. It is pretty much the opposite of law and order. That's on a 150-foot billionaire Chinese businessman's yacht, stealing money. And I know you hardcore Trump supporters are going to say it was a political hit job, just like Bannon's saying now. Of course, he's got to say something. But with the invoices, and it's just there's overwhelming evidence, and it's not even just him. You guys are for law and order. And then the person you're supporting I've lost track of the lawsuits against Donald Trump for his university, his airline, his vodka, his steaks. I don't get it. Either you people are the most gullible people that have ever walked the earth, or you're borderline insane. I don't know. And within this last week, there's just so much evidence to the contrary of the things Trump supporters hold up high. So yeah, my last point with Obama: 0 convictions, 0 indictments. 8 years. I know. It's the deep state. That's another thing. When you have to start coming up with these complex, kind of idiotic, bizarre conspiracy theories to make your idea work, like the flat earth people, you might be off track here. You might want to back up and take an objective look at what you're saying. I know you guys are so used to putting your little stars and stripes and your Trump 2020, Trump, love it or leave it, MAGA. I know you're so used to doing that. But just take today to stand back and look at how much Donald Trump truly loves America. What he's doing to the post office, what he's doing to the environment, our national parks, the actual citizens of the country and the coronavirus. Donald Trump is nothing but hate and self-enrichment. That's all it's about. And it bothers me sometimes to see some of my family, my close family and friends go down that path. I want to shake them, just take a step back and look at the things you're holding up high, law and order in America, and ask yourself, is that what you see in Donald Trump? I mean, besides for just the flag waving and stand for the national anthem stuff. Look at what's really going on, not just the catchphrases. All right, you guys have a good Sunday.